Hi, good people. This is Deborah. Let me read the disclaimer. All information provided on this channel is for educational purposes only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I am bringing this to your attention in case you need to be made aware of the importance of detoxification for your body to work to its most remarkable ability. Cleanse from your past relationships you've had sex with by bath purification. No, I am not a professional in this topic. It is only my personal experience, but remember, your thoughts and opinions are equally important in shaping our togetherness. I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonate with you and what does not resonate, put it on the shelf or throw it away. Now, Raquel, I guess it's not that's how you pronounce your name. I did not see your comment until I froze. I think that's when I froze. But I'm going to try to answer your comment in this video. Um, this video is about spiritual bath, cleansing, witches, and witchcraft meanings. Now, traditionally, witchcraft means the use of magic or supernatural powers to inflict harm and misfortune on others. And many do that today and have been doing that some time. But I'm going to give you the original meaning of the word witchcraft and the word witch, the old English meaning of it. I put it in these charts. Now, every person experiences with witchcraft in different. In each current state, there's many kinds of witchcraft, ranging from kitchen witchcraft to green witchcraft or to crystal witchcraft and cosmic witchcraft. And depending on what people are attracted to, often defines what kind of witchcraft they practice. If you love herbs and plant in your garden, you might identify as a green witch. If you love cooking and find magic in food and drink, you might identify as a kitchen witch. Now, a spiritual path that unders the divinity of nature, the cycle of the season, and the cycles of the body are more in tune with nature. If you are one that is in tune with nature, or you practice the things of nature, you're considered to be a witch. And I'm going to tell you how. The Old English of the word witch means wise woman or seer. Then later on, they attached the male to it. So the word, if you look at the word witchcraft, it is a compound word. The word witch means wise woman or seer. The word craft means skill of the ability. Now, when we put these two words together, it's the skill or the practice of witches. Okay. Now, later on, they took that word, and now you got to keep in mind there's polarity in this earth. So, if there is a good, there is a bad, or if there is a good, there is a negative and positive. You got to keep that in mind when you're dealing with everything because polarity is very key in this earth. Uh, let's see here. Uh, now, drugs can be created from herbs. I hope you know that. Uh, that becomes negative. because herbs are naturally healers from the ground. But when the mix takes place, then you get all the side effects that you have to deal with. If you just take the herb straight from the ground and know how to use it, it won't cause so many side effects. The side effects again take place with the mixing. Throughout history and in various cultures, uh, compound derives from plants, herbal have been used to treat illnesses and alleviate symptoms. These herbal drugs are often derived from the active compound found naturally in plants. Now let's look at the word witch and its meaning from the Old English. I'm not going to read it all because you have it in the slides here. I tried to make the slides as big as I possibly can for those of you that are looking at this video from your cell phone. But if you're looking at it from your computer, you shouldn't have no problem. Also, I will list as much as I can underneath the video my presentation. Now, the word wiki is feminine, or they say it's masculine. Now, it wasn't always that. Um, like I said, it means wise woman and seer. Back in the ancient of days, women were the actual physicians. They knew the plants, they knew the herbs, they knew what herbs and plants that could take healing for the people in the land. That's why they were called matriarchals. Um, Unfortunately, the sons came along, they taught them, and they started using the plants, the herbs, in a negative kind of way, just like here we are today. And I'm going to get into some of that, and I understand why some people are afraid. Most people are afraid of the unknown. Let's look at the word craft. The word craft means skill, ability, strength, power, and talent. So that's all it means. It ain't no woo. Man make it woo. Some females make it woo, and I'm gonna get into that. Now the word witchcraft is in your Bible in Galatians 5:20 and Revelations 21:8. If you look at the Strong's Concordance number G5331 is pharmakia, and I may or may not have pronounced that word correctly. It's okay. You guys will see it when you pull up that Bible concordance number. Now, the part of the speech is feminine. Okay. Now, here's what it says. It says the use of administering of drugs. That's what witchcraft means in the Bible. And I'm not going to read it, all of it, because I've listed it, the meaning of it in the charts here, and you'll be able to see it. Now, today, witchcraft still refers to the practice of witches who are believed to have magical powers. It can involve spells, rituals, and other practices, often associated with magic and supernatural. The supernatural is just simply invisible or spiritual things. You are a spirit being, so you shouldn't be afraid of yourself. Uh, it is sometimes also metaphorically used to describe mysterious or supernatural practice of belief. It is important to note that the meaning and the connotation of word witch have evolved and can vary across different cultures, historical periods, cultural belief, folklore, and social attitude toward magic and supernatural influence, the understanding of witches and witchcraft. I have concluded when you compare the Old English meaning of witchcraft, it is said to mean wise woman or seer, while the Bible meaning is Strong's G5331, or pharmakia, meaning the use of administering of drugs, which is a mixture of herbs and other things. Are you afraid to walk around the earth? Uh, no, but you need to know that the spirits can change who you are. If you are unaware of them, they want you to think of that they don't exist. If you do not know everything comes from the herbs, witchcraft is said when the mixture occurs. Okay, I'll give you some remedies that we use daily in ignorant and you don't know it. Uh, I'm going to give you some old remedies that we use, our parents use, our grandparents use. Uh, Charlemagne, peppermint, lavender, ginger, aloe vera, garlic, coliva oil, olive oil mostly. Many people use olive oil. My grandmother used to use it in her hair. I have used olive oil in my skin sometimes. Sometimes my skin gets so dry, I use olive oil. Lemon and honey, you use lemon and honey. Soap, I've used soap when my babies got constipated. I would use soap and just rub it in their anus so they can have a bowel movement. Epsom salt, old people still use Epsom salt for bowel movement. Now, I want you to understand this. Let's look at witchcraft from the polarity. We're going to look at it from the positive and the negative. And I understand why you feel when you hear the word witchcraft, you go like, "Ooh!" But keep in mind, witchcraft just simply means, excuse me, wise. Wise means witch because now they have added the male to that. It was originally wise woman, seer. That's what she was. In the ancient time, the seers, the 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 physicians were women. They were the healers, just like they are the healers today. Many women today are healers, and they don't even know it. They're walking in that power and don't even know. When you go around people, you healing them, don't even know. You may not talk about healing, but the energy is on you. It's important to know what you have on you that can help not only you, but help the environment, to help the people as well. I met a man some time ago when I was about 17. I met him through my mother. He was from Jamaica. My mother had a tendency of connecting with people that I didn't have knowledge of. And during that time, I really didn't have knowledge of this man. I just know he had me, he paid me to go to with him to places, and he showed me things. Uh, I didn't think nothing of it at the time. I was 17 years old, and I had just turned 17, and I'm going to show you the difference in witchcraft from a negative and from a positive. people used to come to him for different things. There was one person that was going to jail, and they came and paid him to keep them out of jail. And he did that. Believe it or not, he did that. I went to court with him. He did that. Working his magic, he did that. Now, in my case, I see that as a good thing. That's a positive thing because what happened? He helped that person. But then I also saw him get mad when that person did not pay him his money. He went right back down there to the judge and he got that person locked up. That's a negative. So I see why people get upset about witchcraft because it could go both ways. The other thing that I saw him do, this woman had legions all over her body. She was a darker skinned female, and she had legions all over her body. Never seen that. This was in 1970, probably 73, and she had legions. So he told me, he said, let's go out uh, on Camden Road here in Atlanta. uh Back during that time period was a bunch of woods and weeds and that kind of stuff. So he wanted to come to Camden Road. So we came to Camden Road and he pointed at some weed. I sure wish I knew what they were. I wish I could see them and know them today. But what he did, he pointed at the weed. He told me to grab a whole bunch of it. And I did. And he told me to take it home. Let's take it to the house. Because I had an apartment. And my mother was running things, so she was the one that was running my apartment. I moved out, but she was running it. Back then, during that time, apartment for me was $6. Yeah, it was $6. But anyway, so we went in the apartment, and he had me to ball the weed. It was a lady, that lady that had the legions all over her body. He had me to keep balling it and pouring it in the tub for her. This woman got in there, and in 2 weeks' time, those legions was gone off her body. Those legions that I saw, I'm talking about, I was amazed. But I still didn't know what the heck was going on. I mean, I saw what I saw, but still I didn't put it to witchcraft or none of that. I just saw a man doing his thing. And so I got to see both sides of witchcraft. I'm going to bring it to today. There is a particular there is a particular person that I know that will speak wickedness on people, and then they would draw a circle and they would put those people names in Bibles. I know somebody that does that. And to me, anytime you're doing something, uh it's not, witchcraft just not involve the mixing of herbs. Witchcraft involves spells and the things that you speak on people. uh During that time period, there was a time period when women didn't do that. They were just matriarchals. But something happened along the way, and I don't know what time period that happened. It may have been when the men came up against the women and fought them. I'm not sure. I'm speculating. But there wouldn't be a reason for a woman, a seer, to try to do witchcraft on someone if she's not in any danger or harm in a negative way. I could just see her constantly healing. But today, people go to people to put witchcraft on men to cause that man to love her, not leave her. That's dumb to me. You should never want somebody to unnaturally desire you. That's dumb. You should always want a male or female to desire you naturally. I don't know. I don't believe in that shit at all whatsoever. I don't believe in and trying to speak harm on people. Uh, I may have said some stuff like she's a stupid bitch. Now I've said that. I try to watch my words definitely today, but a lot of people is when you take the witchcraft, because the craft itself is nothing but the skill. When you take the craft itself and you cause negativity to take place, that's when it's no good. Uh, it's like taking herbs out the ground, plants out the ground, and you know that it has healing in it, but you want to put something else in it, and you really hadn't studied or researched to know if that's going to cause a side effect to that person, and you go ahead and do it anyway. That to me is negative, because witchcraft should always be from a positive standpoint, never from the negative. They had the witches of Salem. There was three of them. Uh, and a lot of you probably don't know that the witches of Salem that they hung and burned, they were black women. There were three black women. The oracles uh, were called witches because, again, the original meaning for the word witch means wise woman. So they took the word wise woman and they made it witch. But you got to look these words up, and it's best to start from the beginning if possible. I start in the Old English and then I go from there. Uh, I go from Old English to English, and then see how they've changed the meaning of words, and they have. And you have to really pay attention. Now, I have started out and didn't know that that was going on with me. I've started out in a whole lot of negative things, very negative. They say you did something in past life, and so you come into your next life uh, to go through what you did in your past life. Um, I don't believe that. And the other thing, I think is something more to that, because why would you elevate and then physically die, and then you have no memories of the elevation that took place so you can get somewhere or get off this earth, and you have no remembrance, so you come back down here to be recycled again? That can't be true. It can't be true. Something has to take place in this earth with you before you leave. the earth before your physical body passes. The elevation has to take place before the physical body dies. It has to. Because if the physical body dies, you're not going to have no remembrance of knowledge that you received while the physical body was still here. You're not going to have no knowledge of it because your memory is wiped away. But I want you to keep in mind the positive and the negative, but understand clearly what the word witchcraft means. Witch just simply means the wise woman or the seer. Then at some point, it went negative. She no longer was considered to be the wise woman. She was considered to be uh, someone that causes harm. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I do see that today. I do see females causing harm through their craft, lighting candles, burning candles, uh, speaking stuff over people, on people. I see that, and they do it sometimes for no good reason. They do it just because they don't like the way you look. They don't like what you say. Like, I give you for instance, when you go onto the platform, the YouTube platform or any platform as a speaker, they try to mess with uh your voice chakra. They try to shut you up, so they speak stuff over you to try to shut you up, and you can feel it because what happens is your voice kind of get a little drag in it. So that lets you know somebody's sending shit your way. Also, people try to send sick spells on you. Uh, you may get that first sickness, but then you realize and you go and fix it. You automatically go and fix it. And that's sad. I'm not a paranoid type of a person because I believe in miracles. I'm a miracle woman. I believe in miracles. I believe in things happening from the spirit realm, and I call them miracles. I do feel that there are times you have to go to see a physician. Like, I just had that hemorrhoid removed. Uh, it didn't go away magically. I wished it had, but I had to go to a physician to have it removed because it was irritating me. Now, I'm not saying to put them down, the professional world, but I'm saying know yourself spiritually, because when you know yourself spiritually, you'll be able to know what choices you have and what choices you can make, whether you do herbs, natural herbs, whether you go to a profession, you'll be able to make that kind of choice. That's wisdom. They're there for purpose. Professional people are there for a purpose. Now, when you look at that word, witchcraft, in the Bible, you see what that word is associated. It has a long meaning. But again, like I say, just because it's written don't make it all true. You got to keep in mind these people that are putting these definitions together. You don't know the mindset of them. Uh, but when I look at the words and the evolution of that word, like the word witchcraft, it has taken on, from the time the word witchcraft was created, it has taken on such a negative connotation. And people are really afraid. Because I was one of those. I wasn't. comfortable in burning candles. There's a scripture in there. If you read it literally, it tells you not to do that. See, let me just hip you to a little something, something, something. Everything in that Bible that says do not do, and you notice the snake said that God said, if you eat from the tree of good and evil, you will die. The snake told you, no, you're not going to die. You'll be like God. That's true. That's true. You got to be able to discern in the reading. So there's a lot of do not, do not, do not, do not. And it has to do with your natural ability. It has to do with your natural craft. If you are a soul child, your natural craft is wise, wisdom. That's your natural craft. And that's female and male. That is your natural. And they don't want you to be natural. So they take these words and they make you think not to go there. They make you think, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. And then they say, God said. God ain't said shit. Man said it. You have to use your natural abilities to save yourself. You have to use your natural abilities to heal yourself. You owe that much to yourself. As I told you before, now the matriarchals knew this knowledge because they had it first. The problem is the patriarchals, which was Africans, got jealous. African males got jealous and they went against the matriarchals and defeated them. And it's been that way ever since. You have to get back onto your craft. And in order for this earth to return back to its natural healing state, you have to get back to your craft. Not just women now, men as well. And you have to stop. The only time you want to use your negative is if you have to. I've said to you that the period where they were physically fighting, that is not the period we're in today. We're into the thinking, the spiritual. Whatever you think shall manifest. Try it. Don't take my word for it. Just try it. And use it as an affirmation. And you see that thing manifest. They can no longer use the soul children to do the wicked things that they have caused the soul children to do in ignorance. Because the soul children ain't, they sick and tired and fed up with the game plan. Because it's like you give them an inch, they take a whole mile. And they just keep on taking mile after mile after mile after mile, and you're sick of it. Because they won't. You give them an opportunity to change from their wicked ways, and they still won't do it. So they have to be sit down. Those in high positions today has to be sit down. There will be no more suffering in this earth. with these people. They will not be allowed anymore to do harm to people. That is finished. Now, what the Most High is going to do with them, that's on the Most High. But you cannot manipulate people, because I know that there's going to be some people that's going to take these charts and do their own research, discern themselves. Let me just say this to you. There are people in the fraternity that's been doing this. They have high times that they do this, that they burn candles and that they keep things manifested. They still do this and they do it secretly. When they get together, when you see a whole crowd of them getting together and you hear them talk about it, I think it's in the month of June maybe, or it's in the early fall month. That's their high time. And they like to play with the moon. But they use their stuff. See, here's my thing. If you're not helping the general people and you're only helping a selected amount of people that don't help the general people, that's not good. We're not in a period anymore where you have to help only a selected amount of people. Y'all had that time already. Y'all had the fat of the lamb already. And you got it through taking and stealing, taking and stealing. That's how you got it. You didn't earn it, And so that period is over. It's time for people all over the world that's been suffering in this earth to no longer suffer. And they suffered because you took the very things that keep people healed and you demonized it. But you used it. You used it and you caused the ones that has the power in them. You used it by manipulating them to keep you going. You did that. You can't do that no more. Because I'm a firm person to know this. One put 1,000 to flight. Two put 10,000 to flight. If there's a whole army of people that is sick and tired and sick and tired and sick and tired, it's finished. So I don't want to go on too much further with this video. Hopefully, Raquel, you understand where I'm coming from. Is once you get the word witchcraft down pat, Raquel, you in good. You in good shape. Because witch just simply means wise woman or seer. And now the men have added themselves to it. And then you got some good men out there. And then the craft is basically their skill. But when you look at the Bible concordance of the word witchcraft, it's talking about something different. So take a look at those meanings, and then you will understand things better. Until the next time, take care, people.